So the other week, I had to send my hearing aids in for repair. I haven't heard a thing since then. Oh, bad joke. Guys, on today's episode, I'm going to give you some insider tips so you can stage and sell your house faster. I guarantee you if you use these tips, you will absolutely get a better offer and a quicker offer when you put your house on the market. Selling a house is a process, but if you use these tips, it'll help simplify it, get you more money in your pocket. So guys, if your house has been on the market for a while, or maybe you're looking to just get ready to sell it, if you use these tips, I guarantee it's going to help you sell that house. So one of the biggest questions I get almost every time I sit down with a seller is, should I stage my house? And when I'm talking stage your house, I'm meaning having like a professional person come in, whether it's an interior designer or a decorator, and have them go through and move furniture in and out, stuff like that, or put furniture in a vacant house. Those types of things, maybe that's a question you want to ask your realtor. They may know specifically to your situation or your market whether that's important or not. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 big tips you can use to help stage your house for absolutely free that'll guarantee make sure that you can sell that house faster and for a better price. First thing that you want to do is make that house feel big. I've never had a buyer buy a house because it felt cozy. They'll absolutely buy a house because it feels big though. So that extra ottoman, those side tables, things like that that make that living room or maybe your bedroom feel smaller. I know it sucks, but if you can take those out, maybe put them in storage temporarily, make that living room feel much bigger than it is, especially if you maybe have a little bit smaller house, that'll absolutely help. Never as a buyer going to say, I want to buy this house because it feels cozy or tight or small, but they're absolutely going to buy it if they go, wow, does this space feel big? It only says it's X number of square feet, but geez, it sure feels a lot bigger than that. That's what you want. Number 2, declutter the house. Simplify is kind of the word I like to use. Again, this is gonna be a little bit of inconvenience when you're selling your house because you're gonna have to put some stuff away. But what you don't want is that house feeling busy with stuff. If it feels busy, it's distracting to our brains. People's eyes are going everywhere. They're looking at stuff, especially you got really neat maybe things hanging on your wall or cool stuff tucked away in a corner. That's not what you want. You want these buyers to be focused. They should be in there. Their job is to buy that house. If you're distracting them with stuff, they lose that focus, and all of a sudden now they're not thinking about whether this is the house they want to buy. They're looking at your stuff. That's not what you want. And that's going to lead into tip number 3 here. Remove personal photos. We're social creatures. By habit, as soon as you see a picture of somebody, you're automatically going to go, hey, do I know that person? You're looking at that photo, trying to make a connection there. And again, that's going to break that focus for those buyers. Best story I can think of here in Regina when I was selling a house, showing buyers, is we were just going into a house for the night. First house we were looking at actually for that night was a couple that had just gotten engaged. They were super excited about it. And we go into this house, and the house we were looking at, the sellers, they must have just gotten married recently. They had all their wedding photos up and some mementos from that wedding. Immediately, the buyers started talking about their wedding, about the things that they wanted to do, talking amongst themselves. They weren't even thinking about the house anymore. That completely wrecked that entire night of showings because now they couldn't get it out of their head thinking about their wedding. Same thing happens when people, maybe they recognize you in those photos or think that they know you. Now they're not seeing themselves living in the house. They're seeing you and your stuff in that house. They've lost that focus. If buyers aren't focused on buying the house when they come through your house, they don't start thinking of themselves, how they're going to live in the house, you're probably not going to get those buyers to buy that house, write you an offer. So if you do those 3 things, again, let's go through them again. Make the house feel bigger, simplify your lifestyle, declutter, and take down personal photos. Do those 3 things. That is what you can do to stage your house, and that's good for photos and for showings. I guarantee it'll help make your house look better. It'll stand out from the rest, and you'll probably get that house sold quicker. Okay, next thing that's going to help you get that house sold fast and for more money is make it available. If that house isn't available to be shown, buyers aren't going to buy it. So when somebody requests to show your house, make sure it's available. If you've got a buyer that's lined up and maybe they got 4 or 5 houses where they want to see, and you say, no, you can't make that time work, I can almost guarantee it that a buyer's not going to come back, circle back to that house, or they might have actually bought something because they looked at the other 4 houses and not yours, and they bought that instead. So when you get a showing request, do your best to make that house available and presentable as possible. And I got some tips coming up that are gonna help make that house more presentable when that buyer comes up. And really important is when a buyer wants to come back for a second look at a house. If they're coming back for a second look at your house, it's because you're on the short list. Likely they've got 1, 2, 3 houses at this point. They're trying to make a decision. They're gonna make that decision probably that night on a house that they're gonna buy. So if you're not on that list, you're gone. That house that they were thinking about buying is no longer in their mind. They're gonna buy one of your competition houses. You're not gonna get sold. So make your house available to help it get sold faster. Next, congratulations. You've got a showing booked. Your agent has worked hard. Your house has been super presentable. Now a buyer wants to come see it. What do you do now to help make that buyer want to buy that house and make it stand out from the rest? Well, here's a couple of things you can do that'll help that for sure. First thing is leave the lights on. I'm giving you full permission right now. Ignore what your mama told you as a kid. Leave all the lights on. Have the exterior lights on. When that agent and those buyers are driving up, they're gonna see the house from a block away. This is really important in evening showings when all the houses are dark, they're driving down the street, they're trying to find the address. This will really help. When they walk up to the house, those exterior lights are on, makes it easier for the agent to find the lockbox. The buyers, they'll probably walk a little bit around the outside of the property, and it just makes it feel way more inviting and welcoming when those lights are on. A dark house, just a little bit spooky at night or kind of unnerving sometimes. Don't want that feeling. Next is when they come in the house. If you've left the interior lights on, this will absolutely help. Again, it's gonna make that house feel a lot more welcoming, inviting, and if you've done nice upgrades, especially that interior, whether it's your living room or however your house enters in, that's gonna blow them away. It's gonna have a really good first impression when they walk in. They can see the whole house right off the bat. They're not fumbling for lights. So leads to the next point. Again, making that house feel more welcoming is play some music. So one thing you can do is, put on your TV or whatever, like a soft jazz station, something like that. It's gonna help set the mood. And that's what you want here. We wanna set the mood and have these buyers focused. We've already talked about some things you can do to stage the house. So you want those buyers focused the second they walk in the door. You've got the lights on, there's some music playing, it's really inviting. They're ready to start looking at this house as, am I gonna buy this house because I see myself living there? And then the absolute clincher thing, and trust me, this works. Have some freshly baked goods out. It sounds crazy, but it absolutely works. Freshly baked goods make a house feel like home, and that's what you want these buyers to feel like, this is my home. And I know it can be a little tough thinking, oh my God, I gotta bake, a whole batch of cookies or cinnamon buns or something like that. Make it easy. Do a little prep work, whether it's getting those like Pillsbury cookie dough sticks at the grocery store, or just have some cookie dough ready to go. Bake up like 3 or 4 cookies. If you're really smart, figure out how many people are coming to see that house that night. Whether it's a couple and one agent, maybe have 3 out, something like that. That'll really help make that house feel way more welcoming. I was in a house recently where that happened. We walked in the place, lights were on, music was playing. Buyers go, boy, this house smells good. They talked about that house for the next 5 houses in a row. They kept thinking back to it. They actually wanted to go back for a second showing because that house stuck out so much in their mind. Okay, the next thing that you want to do to seal this decision for these buyers is leave out things like inspection reports, bills, any upgrades you've done, the receipts on those types of things, and photos. If you've got photos, if you're selling a house in the winter, there's snow everywhere. If you've got summer photos, these are absolutely gonna help them. You've set the mood by having the lights on, the music on, the baked goods to make sure the house smells good. Now you want to seal this decision for these buyers. They're already emotionally invested because you've wowed them with all these things you've done. Use this to make sure that they have no questions. You don't want buyers leaving the house with questions, or if they do, you want to answer as many as possible. So some of the things the buyers are going to ask about is, what upgrades have been done recently? How much are the utilities, heating and electricity and water and stuff like that? They're going to want to know those things. And if you're selling the house in the winter, you can't see what the backyard looks like. All that hard work you put in to make sure that backyard looks awesome, they can't see it. So have those out. I like to use like a binder where they can flip through. So I'll have on there if I have an inspection report, I'll have that laid out. I'll have a summer month and a winter month for all the utilities. I'll have some photos of their backyard, their front yard, things like that, so the buyers can flip through and see it. If they've done any major renovations or upgrades and they've got before and after photos, which I always recommend you do when you do those upgrades to your house or big renovation projects, repairs, do photos before and after, during, stuff like that. Have all those out, and then have the invoices. So the buyers, as they're flipping through, they're emotionally invested in the house, they're checking off the boxes going, this is done, oh, this is done, oh, this is what the backyard looks like in the summer, this is how much it's gonna cost me to heat it, this is my house cost for water and stuff like that. Those are gonna answer all those questions. They're gonna leave your house now. They've been wowed by all the work you did. They've got all the questions answered about this house is gonna stick out in their minds against all the other houses they go to look at that evening. I can guarantee you your house is gonna stick out from the rest and have a much better chance of getting an offer because all those steps you took to impress them. So that's it, guys. Those are my tips to help present your house better. Use them for photos, use them for showings. Use those steps to help impress buyers when you've got those showings booked. And again, make sure that house is available so you can wow them with all the stuff you just learned to help improve your chances of getting that house sold and for a better dollar. Use all those tips. I guarantee your house is going to sell faster for more money. Thanks for watching, guys. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe here. If you've got great dad jokes, put them in the comments below. And if you don't watch more videos, you can click on some more videos right here.